Hello, it's Pastor Sean at the First United Church of Christ in Schuylkill Haven, Pennsylvania. Welcome to all of you. Today we're going to talk about another story of Jesus appearing to the disciples after his resurrection. You'll remember from the other stories we've read that the disciples were usually very surprised. At first, they didn't know it was Jesus. Sometimes they were even afraid. And so Jesus had to tell them it was okay. It really was Jesus. Although he had died, God brought him back to life. He was resurrected, and God would offer eternal life to all of us as well. So this is a story about the disciples who decided to go fishing. After Jesus appeared to them, he would leave, and then they weren't certain what they should do. Should they wait around for him to come back? At one point in time, Peter said, I think it's time. Let's go fishing. So that's this story, a net full of fish, from the Gospel of John, the 21st chapter. Peter went fishing with some of the disciples. They fished from their boat all night, but they did not even catch one fish. So that'd be pretty discouraging, right? To work that hard all night long and not even get one fish. Early the next morning, someone from the shore shouted, "You have not caught any fish, have you?" Someone from the shore, and it's early in the morning. It kind of reminds me of Easter sunrise when the women went to the tomb and found it was empty. So they said back to the person on shore, "No." "Well, cast your net to the right side of the boat," the man on shore said. As soon as they did, their net was full of fish. Then Peter knew the man was Jesus. It wasn't just any person standing on shore calling to them. It was Jesus, their best friend and their teacher. Peter jumped out of the boat and swam to shore. Jesus asked him, "Do you love me?" Peter said, "You know that I do." Jesus said, "If you love me, then take good care of my people." Well, this story is a little short because actually something really important happened. When they got to shore, they found that Jesus had prepared a fire, and he'd allowed the wood to burn down until it became charcoal, and he was preparing fish for them to eat. So even though they hadn't caught fish, here Jesus was going to fix them breakfast. So he asked for one of the fish, they brought it from the net, he prepared breakfast, and he fed them. But he didn't just feed their bodies, because then he asked Peter, "Do you love me?" And Peter said, "Yes, Lord, you know I do." Then Jesus said, "Feed my sheep." So Jesus wants us to take care of one another, to be kind to one another, to love one another, to help one another, to feed one another when we're hungry. This is a gift we give, soul food, because it's not just our bodies that need to be fed, it's our spirits, so we will know we are loved. Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" And Peter said, "Yes." We can tell Jesus the same thing and then love one another by helping one another, by feeding one another soul food, the food of love. Do your best to do this next week. Think about Jesus and know that he is risen from the dead. He is alive. He is with you, and he loves you. Take care. See you next week.